Premiership Rugby, folks. Premiership Rugby Cup was on last week, and we've got the regular old Premiership back this week. Some pretty good games. After watching a few blowouts in some other leagues, it's kind of refreshing to come back to the Premiership where largely the results are competitive. But yeah, we'll go through some key events, some stats, and you guys can let me know your thoughts. Unfortunately, I only got to see one game in its entirety, and that was the last one. And then I saw kind of a half a game here, half a game there, and some highlights of others with the URC and Super Rugby and the Women's Six Nations on. It's all pretty full on. So, yeah, catching what I can. But like I said, it was pretty refreshing. What wasn't that refreshing was the first game being cancelled. Gloucester and Worcester. I believe it was some COVID cases with the Worcester guys, so they couldn't field a side because they didn't have enough props. So, fingers crossed those days are kind of coming to an end where we see matches cancelled due to COVID cases, but that is what it was. The next game was a draw between Bath and Sale. They had a chance to win it, Sale, with a last-minute penalty with Faf de Klerk, interestingly, taking the kicks. I've never seen him goal kick before. I've been watching him since he was in Super Rugby. Don't remember seeing him kick goals before, but there you go. But he missed one wide. I mean, it's not his regular job, right? There was a Nathan Hughes yellow card early, and Sale punished them. They got a try, but it was most of the second half where they piled on some points. Underhill got one for Bath back when it was 15 on 15, and then he got a double not long later. So, yeah, he seems to be in pretty cracking form since he's kind of coming back to full fitness. Like that last game for England, I know they lost, but Underhill was kind of one of the more standout performers as well, so that's encouraging. And then Ben Curry gets yellow carded. And Cipriani gets a try assist. I haven't seen him start for a while either, but maybe that just shows you how much Premiership I'm watching during the Six Nations. So, yeah, Bath go in with a pretty nice lead, 21-7 at half-time. But you can see they don't get many points in the second half, whereas Sale start to pile them on. Jean-Luc Dupria, Ron Janssen van Rensburg, and Ashman, in like just over a 10-minute period, managed to pile on 3 tries. So the momentum all's with Sale in that second half, then plus a 76th minute penalty. It was the earlier one for Sale to take the lead, but 76 minutes, Bath evened it up. 80 minutes, Sale got the penalty to potentially put them in front, but Faf pushed that one wide. So if it had been a regular goal kicker, it probably would have gone over, to be honest, but there you go. So maybe Bath are on the improve, eh? Their recent record doesn't look too bad. I know on the log they're not that flash, but they're certainly getting some more constructive results. Run meters 352 to 284. Bath more possession, more territory, more offloads, but also more penalties conceded, 18 to 14. Underhill, man, 2 tries, 21 run meters. A clean break, a defender beaten 10 from 10 tackles. Man, that guy was on fire. Dan Dupria, 46 run meters. And it looks like a defender beaten, if I can read my handwriting. Well, 10 runs. There you go. But, so good on Bath. It's not been their season, but at least that is a little bit encouraging. The next one, London Irish and Northampton, is the only real hiding we saw. But, man, that looks like a pretty good crowd for London Irish. Their games at the start of the year certainly didn't have that many people at the ground. So, I'm not sure what the deal was. Maybe it was just really nice weather. Things warming up north as they cool down here, but very encouraging. And they were treated to a try early through Ollie Hassel-Collins on the counter. Nice 2-on-1. Sean O'Brien, getting the ball when he needed to give it. So, yeah, early lead for London Irish. They were out to 8 points to 0. But, then Northampton were able to kind of strike back. Simmons getting a yellow card for a pretty ordinary clean-out didn't help. So they were 14-0 down plus a man down were London Irish. And then Phipps got yellow carded for cynically kind of coming in as a maul was about to go over and knocking the ball free. So that's a penalty try. During that yellow card period, they get 2 more. Mitchell and Dingwall go over. So, Northampton absolutely lethal when London Irish were a man down. To be fair, though, London Irish kept fighting, despite the fact that they were well beaten. They managed to get 2 tries through Phipps. Towards the tail end of the match, Furbank got yellow carded as well for another deliberate knock on. So, there you go. 22-42. It's not the best result for London Irish at home, but like I said, the crowd was good. I mean, the game seemed to be really free-flowing. Run meters 556 to 822. 822 can be a whole game. but that's only one team. Penalties conceded 7-12 with Northampton conceding the 12, but I mean, Hassel Collins, 107 run meters, 2 clean breaks, 7 defenders beaten. How's his kicking game? Because he seems like a guy who should be in the England squad, but I mean, I know Eddie likes fullbacks, so because he likes to play guys who can kick. Tom Collins, 156 run meters, a clean break, and 9 defenders beaten. Some really cracking performances in this game. That one seemed like just proper pure entertainment, but anyway, there you go. The next one, Sale and Bristol, 27-23. This one's a proper nail biter. This one goes down to the finish, and it was at the Spurs Stadium by the look of things. So, yeah, that was something a bit different as well. Good to see Owen Farrell back, even if he did get himself in a wee bit of trouble. But, yeah, Malin's got on the board with this one, but it was Bristol who had the first one through Frisch. So a couple of tries in the first 10 minutes to make it 7 points apiece for the crowd to really get into the game. But then, I mean, Sale gifted Bristol a try from a pretty poor line out, which was one they'll look back on and be pretty frustrated with, led to the O'Connor try. But by half-time, it was like 20 points apiece. It was proper, like Daly got one. Proper, like, step to I forget who was trying to tackle him, make him look pretty silly. So, yeah, 3 tries to Bristol in that first half, 2 to Saracens, and then Saracens get one in the second half to go in front. That stopped Bristol when Bristol had gone like 19 phases. But then, yeah, Farrell gets yellow carded for another no-arms tackle. I think he's too late in his career to change that. I think that's wired into him. I don't think he can change that. We've seen him do it so many times. He's going to get himself red if he keeps doing it, but he got yellow carded for that one. And, yeah, when it was 27-23, Bristol were denied a try right at the death, which they'd worked really well to create through a forward pass, and it was slightly forward. I forget, it was a Bates, I think, out on the right wing. Just needed to ease off just a touch, so eager. Just kind of drifted slightly forward, so the pass had to go forward. Just needed to hold back. If it's a 2-on-1, you just got to hold the line. I know you're eager, but you just got to hold. So, yeah, they'll be gutted. They blew the chance to win that one, to be honest. 27-23, Saracens get the job done. Saracens knocked it on 12 times to 4, which is crazy, especially when you consider Bristol had more ball and 69% territory. Second half territory is 83-17 to Bristol. That's bonkers. I don't know what was going on. Run meters, 538 to 362 to Bristol, but they did concede more penalties. Malin's 47 run meters, clean break, 3 defenders beaten. Piers O'Connor, yeah, I quite enjoy watching that guy. Yeah, he's been pretty good the last couple of years. I've been keeping an eye on Bristol in the Premiership. Anyway, 59 run meters, 2 clean breaks, and 3 defenders beaten plus his try. So, yeah, losing bonus point, but they would have wanted that win at the death. But there you go. Wasps and Newcastle. I do feel a bit gutted for Newcastle. They got so close. They got brutally close. They haven't had a win in the Premiership for ages. I know they won in the Premiership Cup the other day, but they haven't had a win in the Premiership for such a long time. And away to Wasps, they could have had it done. I mean, they had Brocklebank, the big loose head prop, getting a line break early, which was phenomenal. Well worth seeing. But they ended up getting the try through it from McGuigan. Anyway, it looked like he might have been held up, but he did manage to get the ball down. He gets a hat-trick, which is bonkers in itself. Both sides score. Robson gets one, McGuigan gets one. By halftime, it's 17 points apiece. And then Porter gets yellow carded for Wasps in the second half when Radwan's going down the right wing. He's not really going. He's on the right wing and he tries to offload to keep the ball in play as he's getting tackled into touch. But then Porter just kind of bats it and he gets yellow carded for that deliberate knock on. And Newcastle punished them immediately with another McGuigan try, so it's 24-17. But Wasps scored the one through West, despite the fact they had a man in the bin. So that's the brutal one for Newcastle. You conceded a try when you had an extra man. And then Gopper, despite the fact that he slips over when he kicks the penalty, gets a penalty on the 76th minute to make it 27-24. So Wasps grind out a win. Newcastle just can't buy a trick. So, I mean, they tackled 140 times at 90% did Newcastle. Like, Wasps were 98 tackles, so a lot fewer. and 85% for them, but Newcastle just couldn't hold on, eh? Wasps had the possession and the territory in the second half, to be fair, and SARvBRI, man, 5 defenders beating 35 run meters. Lockwood, the lock for Newcastle, makes 15 out of 15, so on another day, it might have been good enough, but not this one. And the last one, Leicester over Exeter 22-17. Pretty windy. Yeah, pretty windy conditions for this one. You could see a few guys struggling under some high balls with the kind of swirling nature of the wind. It was all Leicester early, to be fair, and Ashton gets the first of his 2 tries. I think he's going to set some kind of try-scoring record based on what the commentary team was saying. A cross kick from George Ford made it 5-0. George Ford actually gets injured in this game and has to go off. So I'm not sure what the deal is with him, if he's going to be out long term. But I mean, Burns did an alright job anyway. So yeah, you got certainly an able replacement. And Exeter, when they were down the Leicester end, just weren't able to convert. It was pretty frustrating for the home fans, I'm sure. But then it gets worse for them because Vermeulen gets yellow carded for a deliberate knock-on. Leicester almost score a try on 23, and then it comes a few minutes later through Stewart. That one was, I think, Ford again with the setup play for that one, but then he goes off really not long later. So it's 12-0 at half-time, and then Ashton does the double in the second half from some loose Exeter passing, which is just pretty shocking. And yeah, suddenly it's a 19-0 lead. And Exeter are looking kind of all at sea. But that seems to, I don't know, spark them. Nandolo gets a knock-on, or yellow card for a deliberate knock-on, where he kind of tries to knock it up and then gets hit back. I don't know, it's a weird one where I think if he hadn't got hit, he probably would have been able to catch it. But either way, he gets a yellow card. So both sides have one for a deliberate knock-on. And yeah, Exeter, that's when they're able to convert, man. They power over through Ewers to make it 7 points to 19. Schickerling gets one, and suddenly it's game on, 14-22, and then with the penalty, 17-22. But that's all she wrote. There's no more scoring after that one. So yeah, Exeter will be pretty gutted. They gave especially one particularly soft try, where they just kind of dropped the ball and Ashton was the man to punish. I mean, yeah, the first half was probably what cost them as well. Run meters 501 to 280. That's in Exeter's favour. They had more possession. Leicester had the territory, but the second half numbers are far more to Exeter. First half's more to Leicester. 110 tackles by the Chiefs, 240 by the Tigers, like at 90% as well. They were defensively a very hard team to break down. O'Flaherty, 69 run meters, 5 defenders, beating Chesham, now international Chesham, 25 out of 26 tackles. Proper shift. But there you go. Premiership games at the weekend, like I said, very close scorelines, which I keep harping on about it, but I do think the league looks in a good way when you see scorelines like that. I've seen other competitions this weekend with a lot of bigger scorelines, but that not necessarily better scorelines, right? So there you go. You guys let me know your thoughts on the game. Do fill me in on especially the first few, which I've only kind of managed to catch up on. It was only the last one that I really managed to kind of sit down and watch properly. But yeah, you guys take care, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.